Hi, everybody. Today, I have the pleasure of showing you the additional instruments collection of Berlin Brass. In this library, we have 4 new instruments for your Berlin Brass band: Piccolo Trumpet, Bass Trumpet, Euphonium, and Contrabass Trombone. We designed Berlin Brass to be a workhorse library for orchestral brass writing. So, we not only included one single solo instrument and a section, we recorded the sections as well as every individual player of them. Our additional instruments collection expands on that concept by introducing color and range extending instruments, which will work both in solo passages and supporting the ensemble. Also feature-wise, we followed the standards established with the Berlin Brass main library. We have different attacks for sustained notes, multiple lengths of short notes, playable runs and trills, everything ready to use, powered by Orchestral Tools Capsule. The Piccolo Trumpet is the highest instrument of the trumpet family. Technically speaking, it cannot really play much higher than a regular trumpet, but it offers the player more flexibility and accessibility on those very high notes, besides delivering quite a different timbre in comparison to its lower-pitched relatives. It works very well as a solo instrument, but you can also use it together with the Berlin Brass main trumpets. Here's an example of a 4-part voicing with the piccolo on top. The bass trumpet is a lower extension of the trumpet family. It's usually performed by a trombone player, and its sound can be described as a mixture of a trumpet and tenor trombone timbre. It can deliver a quite mighty and sinister tone. It also serves greatly as an additional voice to the trumpet ensemble. Tuned an octave lower, it might be worth trying the bass trumpet in octaves together with the ensemble from the Berlin Brass main collection. The euphonium, also called tenor tuba, is especially known for performing beautiful sounding solo passages. As it is the higher counterpart of the tuba, both instruments work really nicely together. Especially the softer side of the euphonium can also be used to thicken a horn melody. The timbres of those two instruments can be quite similar, so they will blend exceptionally well together. Add the tuba, and you get beautifully soft brass chorals. The lowest member of the trombone family is the contrabass trombone. It provides more weight and power in the contra octave compared to the bass trombone. In the real world, bass trombone players even consider performing very low and loud phrases on contrabass trombone, even if they were intended for bass in the first place. But of course, the instrument also works nicely as the lower extension of the tenor and bass trombones. At the same time, it could be used together with the tuba to have both the projection and blare of the trombone and the thickness and weight of the tuba in unison. Recorded at Teldex, like every other collection of the Berlin series, you have total control over the sound of the instrument in the room. The stage itself is in perfect balance between wet and dry for orchestral instruments, and our multi-microphone setup allows for a close-up sound as well as a very ambient impression, and of course, everything in between. So you get the tree, A, B, and surround microphone positions together with two alternatives for close mics, and the section-centered ORTF, which you can select and mix to your taste inside capsule or your DAW mixer if you route the mic positions to different outputs. Like every other expansion collection we have in the Berlin Orchestra series, this one works fully independently. So you don't necessarily need the Berlin Brass main library to take full advantage of the instruments provided here, although we can only recommend using both collections for your brass writing. They blend together effortlessly. The flexibility room-wise, the massive control over articulation, and the individual player concept makes Berlin Brass stand out and let you mock up nearly everything you have in mind.